as that couple walks in the door, our bellmen are posted up right outside the bell stand, and they see them, and as they walk by, good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. What? You just say my name? Yeah, they said your name. Then when they come on by the concierge desk, same thing, they're looking out, they know exactly who just walked by. And then by the time they reach the front desk, our front desk agents have the reservation queued up. So when they come up to the desk, good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson, we have your reservation ready, and they can begin the check-in process. So from there, our bellman will take them on up to their room. They'll kind of give them a little brief tour of the outlets of the hotel as they escort them up around the lobby, tell them when to come down for the best view of the docks, of course. Once they get them settled in the room, they'll also see if they need anything like a luggage rack, rollaway bed. They might fill their ice bucket for them. But from start to finish, we've been holding their hand and we've been using their name. Using a guest name is easily the highest form of recognition. And it really, it's kind of fun to catch people off guard with that, actually. Because they don't think you're paying attention. But man, if you check somebody in, you remember their face, you remember their name, you're walking around the hotel later and you can call them by name. Oh, good evening, Mr. Wilson. That really, really impresses people. And it makes guests feel at home. So the fact that from the very beginning, we were out there on the drive, ready to welcome them in, they feel like we anticipated their arrival. So for me, the kind of climate that I want to create for our guests, I want people to feel like they're maybe a cousin or a longtime friend that I haven't seen that I'm inviting to stay at my house for a while. Because that's basically what it is, right? You know, this is our home that we're opening up to you. So when we can make somebody feel like they've been anticipated before they even get here, I know we've started off on the right foot. Hospitality steps. Now, has anybody heard any version of hospitality steps so far? Awesome. Was it here or was it a place of work?
I work at a Hilton Garden Inn in Murfreesboro.
Awesome. Then you already know. A lot of hotel companies have some version of this. This is the Peabody's. We have an entire culture based around a training strategy we've titled Peabody Service Excellence. There's a lot of parts that go into it, but I want to just kind of give you a taste of some hospitality steps. So engage, that's the first thing. We're looking out to see if there's any guests that are in need. And a great example of finding somebody that needs something, they might not always come to you, but you see somebody sort of with that 1,000-yard stare that's just walking around like they have no idea what planet they're on. They might need somebody to come over and talk to them and give them some guidance. So first we find out what's going on. Exceed. Meet the guests or associates' needs and go beyond what they request. Go the extra mile. So we want to meet exactly what is asked for, but we also want to take it a step further where we can. A very simple version of that would just be asking a follow-up question. You know, for example, if somebody comes up to us and they say, "Oh, I need you to make a dinner reservation for me." Okay, sure, I'll be happy to take care of that. Once you've taken care of that, then you might just follow it up with some questions. Well, have you planned any of the rest of your stay with us? That took like 5 seconds of your time, but it made the guests know that you're interested in kind of walking them through whatever else they may need. Exit. When the situation's resolved, remove yourself gracefully. Never stand around waiting for a tip. As a matter of fact, for our tipped positions, none of the associates that work in those positions expect a tip. We're all doing it because we know that's our job. And then if a gratuity comes as a result of that, well, that's just the icing on the cake, right? But we never make a guest feel like we're expecting a gratuity. And then follow-up. Check back later with the guest, see how everything's going. Now follow-up, that's a very important step. Follow-up, especially when there's been a negative situation you've been able to turn around, it should never happen accidentally. Follow-up should not happen when you bump into the guest in the lobby. Oh yeah, since you're here, how'd things go with that plumbing issue? Right? Follow-up should happen by you reaching out to the guest. That might mean a phone call. Could be a card that you leave in their pillow during turn-down service. It could mean going up and actually knocking on their door and making sure everything's fine. But follow-up is kind of tying a nice ribbon on the situation, but it always needs to be intentional. Because if it did not go to the guest satisfaction and then they bump into you accidentally, they're going to feel even more poorly about it because you weren't thinking about it. Hospitality behaviors. So these are a few simple things that, when done well, really elevate the quality of our service. Speak first and last. We don't want a guest to sneak up on us, so we always try to initiate the conversation. Just as a guest approaches, "Hello, good afternoon, how are you?" Something as simple as that, but it starts the conversation. And then at the end, don't walk off, don't cut the guest off. Make sure that there's a nice conclusion to that conversation as well. Have a nice day. Then if the guest says, no, you have a good day, well, you don't have to get the last word on that, but you get the idea. Just put a nice kind of conclusion on the conversation. Use the guest name. I already talked about that as the highest form of recognition that you can give someone. It's what makes them feel like they are staying as part of the family. 360 degrees, 10 and 5 rule. So if you see me and some of my colleagues out around the lobby, we are not going to be standing with our backs to you. As a matter of fact, we're probably going to have our backs to a wall. Not leaning on it, of course, but most of the time if we're having any sort of conversation or if we're just standing ready to assist with something, we're going to be in a position where we can see anybody that would approach us. We don't want the guest to sneak up on us. 10 and 5 rule. So when a guest comes within 10 feet of us, if I'm having a conversation with one of my colleagues, I'm going to cease that conversation because now the guest is entering our space. And I'm going to, when they get within 5 feet of us, initiate the conversation. So when they get within 5 feet, I'm going to speak first. You don't want a guest to have to interrupt you. Oh, sorry, I know you're talking about football or something, but hey, I need some help. And that would be pretty embarrassing. For our level of service, we don't want that to occur. And then finally, that's an easy one, smile. Can everybody just give me a big smile? Yeah, wonderful. It's very simple, but it goes a very long way. Especially with those first impressions. The doorman, the valet, concierge, front desk, anytime you're working with a guest, smile. I'm not talking about forcing some big cheesy grin just because you feel like you have to, but just a simple acknowledgement, oh, hey, I'm happy to see you. That goes a really long way towards enhancing your interactions with guests. What sets us apart? So first and foremost, teammates, not subordinates. And these, by the way, these 4 things are when I was thinking about what sets us apart. These are what kind of came to my mind. We don't have literature that says these word for word. This is just what I feel my first 30 seconds of thinking about what really sets the Peabody apart. Now, of course, there is a structure to our management. There is a tiered reporting structure. Supervisors, managers, directors, executive committee, so on. So it's not like you don't report to anybody, but even our upper management, they speak to every associate like they are equal, because they are. Every job has dignity, and every single person that works for the Peabody is an equal team member, just with different responsibilities. And that is really well understood. These are some of the things that you can't just put on paper and it happens. It actually has to be practiced every day, and we have a culture of that, and I'm really proud to say it. It's really unusual, I think, compared to some other companies that I've worked for, when in a back-of-house area, all of our associates are talking to each other. They're saying hey in the back hallway just like they would to a guest out in the lobby. We're sitting down to lunch together, having a good conversation. I mean, things that just kind of cultivating friendships, cultivating camaraderie. I was speaking with a friend of mine recently. I had lunch with a lady that used to work with us, and she's working for another company now. And she said, wow, the person next to me got up for lunch the other day and they didn't even invite me to go. And she said, well, of course, that wasn't expected, but I was just so used to it at the Peabody. Everybody is always looking for opportunities to just get to know each other and look out for one another. Internal promotion. We always look to promote first from the inside. So here with me, I have a list, many of them actually, for those of you interested, of our current openings. Before this list was cleared to share with you, all of our associates had it for a week, maybe 2 weeks, depending on the position. We always give first choice of selection on promotions, on new openings, to our internal candidates. We want people to build their careers with us. Now, we hire outside associates as well, but most of the time, we have 550 employees. That is an awesome talent pool. Everybody in there is a hospitality professional in some way or another, and for those that are looking to better their career or go to that next step, there's a lot of opportunities. And, there's always something opening up. Every couple of weeks we update that list. So internal promotion is a really good way to increase morale with your company too. It shows that you're working on developing the people that you have with you, not just looking to bring in outside assistance. Open door culture, this kind of goes in with the teammates, not subordinates. If I have an issue with something and I feel like I need to talk to the general manager about it, I can do that. I can go to his office, schedule a time with him. So can anybody else that works in that hotel. We have, if something's wrong, if you need to address something, or if you want to seek mentorship from somebody that's maybe a little higher up the chain than you are, you can do that. There's not an intimidation to keep people only reporting to their supervisor. Now that's where you're going to go for most things, but if you feel like things aren't being addressed with your immediate supervisor, you know that you can go to the next level without fear of any negative consequences for you. Finally, employee recognition. That's really important too, and most companies do some form of employee recognition. But man, we have a big banquet luncheon 4 times a year. We have quarterly awards where people nominate their colleagues. It's not just supervisors nominating associates. Really, it's peer-to-peer nominations. And everybody that's nominated and everybody that nominates someone is invited to have a big banquet. We treat you to a great lunch, and then we celebrate your achievements. So the employee recognition really goes a long way. And even for a week after that awards deal, I'll usually hear people congratulating their colleagues in the hallways too. So that's really stressed. Here's a few pictures of my team, some of them, not everybody here. With the front desk, we've got about 15 associates. Concierge got another 7, and then we've got guest services and valet. So there's not, I don't have one picture with everybody, but here's just some photos of some of our outings. I'm very proud to